Okay.
So none of them, and that's what Charlie was saying. When he called me, he was in Texas, and he said he's going to the Keys the next weekend to get away from everyone. He has no friends.
Yeah. When was this falling out? How long ago was it?
I think a
NFL
couple
Sunday
of
Ticket and
months
YouTube
ago.
TV to watch up to 4.
I think a couple of months ago.
When did he call you? On the 20th? When was your birthday?
The 28th?
My birthday was a Thursday, and when we spoke that Saturday night, so like the 30th.
Okay.
First, the next morning.
July.
Maybe the 2nd, like here and there, but not.
Okay.
So just kind of through the weekend?
Yeah. He was because he was away out of town. And then he called me.
Okay.
When he was walking the dog. That week, a couple of days after, because we only spoke for a little bit.
Okay.
And he was just waiting for everything to be over, he said.
What kind of business did he, and did you say it was Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan.
It was called legal funding. It's like Ryan's idea of, they front cash to people now if they're suing for an accident or something. And then they pay them back later with interest or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So, but I'm surprised to see all his friends aren't friends with him anymore.
Actually, they've been all friends since childhood.
Yeah, like they were all very close to him.
And they're not friends with him because Charlie told you, or do you know some other way?
Source, and Charlie told me more because I heard like one or two friends didn't talk to him through someone else, and then Charlie told me others weren't friends with him either.
Okay.
So both.
Wow. It's all catching up to him, huh?
Yeah. That's so funny. The other girls also knew that he cheated on them too. Gosh, he must be awful.
Well, some guys, a leopard can't change their stripes, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know why he puts himself in this situation. Like, he could have had a perfect life, You're muted.
He had all of it. He had it all going for him. Wow. So, all right.
Just speak to people about the case.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Trying to see what else. It's been a while, Case is still dragging on. The trial keeps getting continued.
Continued this time. He said October was the final.
Not necessarily.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they always can.
Yeah.
Really?
The attorneys can put in for reasons.
Uh-huh.
Their defense attorneys are the ones putting in the continuances, so they can.
Do you know why they're doing that?
There's been no reasons.
And more, I guess.
No, it wasn't us
It's not us, it's a defense.
or the prosecution. It's the defense.
Oh,
The defense is trying to, they're the ones that,
his attorneys?
Yeah.
yeah, they filed for continuances. So, get ready for the trial, and there's a different reasons that they will continue the case. So, so
I mean, what facts do they need to prove that who did it? Like, physical evidence? Because I heard they found the gun or something.
it's not, circumstantial evidence. It's just putting it all on the case, putting it before a jury to be able to prove that it's beyond a reasonable doubt that it was done. So there's a lot of evidence out there.
There's no one big thing. It's a bunch of pieces, they all go together, and that makes the big puzzle.
Yeah, the case is like a puzzle. You get a bunch of pieces of it and you put it together so you can see the whole big picture and how it works out. You get so many pieces that they all point in the same direction. It's hard to say. You weren't involved. These guys, this guy has kids with Katie. That's a fact.
Yeah.
The guy who did the killing has kids with Katie. And Katie,
Yeah.
he killed Dan Markel. Why did this guy kill Dan Markel?
And as you see from the media, it was all out there. It was on, and it was all on TV. Why, if it goes in the media, someone gets arrested, why does Charlie call Katie right away?
Thing. Like, now that I think of it, the phone calls on how the affidavit came out and says what time they all talked, like around the time. I always know Charlie, and I know he hates talking on the phone, like for a long period of time. He's a texter. I mean, like he'll talk one time, but I saw him going back and forth with Katie on the calls, and I said, "Oh, why do you guys talk so much?" He just said, "Well, she doesn't live with me like you, and we would talk in the morning and yada yada." But I know he doesn't wake up early, and I saw the times they were talking, and it was like 7 or 8 before 10 a.m. or something. And I know his schedule, and I know him, and I know at nighttime too. It's when he's talking business, which is when the night before they were up, like late or something. I don't know. So I kind of thought, like, oh, that's kind of odd. And,
Yeah.
like, I know you don't talk to me on the phone all the time. So why were you talking to Katie? Like, what are you talking about?
Right. It's definitely something that stood out.
Yeah. What about him and his mom? Do they talk?
They talk, like, badly.
1 in the morning?
Being a lot. But they don't go back and forth like, well, he was calling everybody and hanging up and calling back.
Uh-huh. That's pretty odd, isn't it?
Oh, I just knew he never called me like that. So I said, what were you talking to Katie about, like, so much?
Was there ever that gut feeling for you after seeing that and seeing his behavior that was like, wow, he really could have done this?
I mean, yeah.
And that's obviously an opinion. I know it's not evidence. I'm just asking. As a woman, you get those gut feelings, and they're usually pretty accurate on a lot of things. Like I'm sure you get those, like when you think he would be with another girl and stuff.
Yeah.
You know the behavior.
Right.
Yeah, so when you saw that in the media and then how his behavior was in the calls, and that's not his normal behavior, that gut feeling, that ever kind of like, wow, this guy could really have done this.
Would do, like, out of the ordinary, like, not telling me where he's going or periodically leave and, like, being secretive during the investigation kind of made me wonder, like, why isn't he involving me or telling me what's going on? And then,
Right.
like, I would see him.
If he was really innocent,
I see him really stressed a lot about it. Like he's very affected by it.
right, and an innocent person, if you didn't do anything,
I can't even.
why would you be worried?
Yeah. So I do have, like, sometimes a thought and the gut feeling, but I never knew because
Right.
as far as I was concerned, I was still, like, in a perfect relationship and stuff. So I kind of, like, blinded, like,
Yeah,
put my
right.
blinders on a lot.
Right.
And so I can just stay with him.
Right.
But it didn't work out that way anyway.
Yeah.
So,
That's understandable. Unfortunately, that's something we women do. So,
yeah. And I do know that I'm better off. I don't know why. I cared about him a lot, I guess. So,
the illusion of the perfect relationship and everything
I don't know.
turning out ways.
I can tell you this: you're not the only one
What?
that felt that way and is going through the same process.
Oh, I thought you meant about him. Like the other ones didn't.
Oh, well, I'm not telling you what other people have told me.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that you're not the only one that has fallen for him like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's good at doing that.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if it makes you feel any better or not, but
yeah. I know.
it's understandable.
I mean, oh, I had to get rid of all this girl's stuff in his house. And, like, I knew he was a player, but I don't know. I guess I thought he would change or something.
You're not the only one who thought that too.
Exactly.
Like 40 now.
Yeah.
And
Would think.
Yeah.
41 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, marriage or kids. So it's like kind of like I guess he likes that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's got the kid now. So,
That's why he wanted a kid. He didn't want commitment.
Right.
so he can control
Yeah.
and cheat on the side and stuff
Uh-huh.
and do whatever he does.
Exactly.
So,
You're better off. You are.
thanks.
Yeah.
Definitely. It'll work out. Be patient.
And I was like, well, if everyone is telling me it's so bad and he really did do it, then why is it taking so long? At a point, I wanted him to go to jail. I was so mad at him. But now, like, I really do feel bad if it actually, like, happened. I'm picturing him in jail. But I was like, I didn't like him for a long time, a couple of months. I was like, I hated him.
Well, that's understandable too.
So I was like, why aren't they taking him yet? And what's going on?
Well, you know, the investigations, they take long.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Right.
Yeah.
you can never put a timetable, especially one of this magnitude, you know?
And his voice was just always telling me, like, you know nothing. Don't talk to anyone. If they ever call you, come here. So I always like, I guess I was trained on not saying anything because he told me not to.
Right.
Why would he say that, do you think?
I just think he didn't want me to make it worse. He even got mad when I was in the paper and stuff. But that wasn't my fault.
Why?
And I said, you never told me about this, so.
Yeah. You should be mad at him.
Yeah.
He said I sounded stupid or something. And
Oh, goodness.
Blame it on you.
I looked bad in the picture.
Yeah, you looked fine in those pictures.
He was trying to, yeah, don't worry about that.
He's deflecting. He's trying to get put it on you, where
So you being mad at him,
so you wouldn't ask him questions.
mad at him.
You should have been mad at him. You were blindsided. They came up to you and you had no idea what was going on. He knew what was going on all along.
Yeah. So I just thought it was weird that he never asked or wondered once, like, who really did it? He never mentioned, like, oh, I wonder who did it. Or this person might have done it. Or I feel bad for Dan. Like, no remorse or anything.
And not told you how terrible he was, right? How bad he was to Wendy, almost like he deserved it.
Then when I first asked him about Wendy's ex, he just said, oh, he got shot. It was just like, period. And he didn't give me, like, any more information.
No details.
It's okay.
Really?
They just said they didn't know who did it. And then, like, changed the subject and stuff.
Really?
Before you guys even, the case came up again.
Yeah.
Mm.
He used to just shut up about that whole thing. Like,
Just not talk about it at all. Just say he's dead and that's the end of it.
That's kind of odd.
and it's like a weird explanation. Yeah, like they shot him.
It's kind of odd.
Ahead, and they didn't know who did it.
Especially since they didn't know who did it.
Yeah.
It would be kind of odd.
That he wouldn't be curious.
Yeah.
Oh, for something.
Exactly.
Anybody.
That's what was weird to me. I'm always like, well, if you didn't do it, then who do you think did it or something? And he would never like show any sympathy or anything. Like curiosity or
Wow. Okay.
and he would also say he was so horrible to Wendy.
That's everybody, the whole family. Just he's dead and they don't care. He's just this bad person to Wendy. It's kind of,
Yes, not the dad or anything.
but Mom and
Charlie.
Charlie.
Is Dad just kind of there and he's just kind of real quiet, or?
He talks, but he talks about other things. And he's usually in the background, quiet, doing his own thing.
Does Mom kind of run the family, you think? Is she kind of in charge kind of thing, or?
She's more involved with the children. Like, she definitely talks to Charlie more on the phone, sees them more, they're closer. So I think she's kind of like in charge, I guess you can say. But I didn't really see them like too much. So, but one time when I did see them on the way there, he used to get so mad and violent, like that he would start like throwing water on me, and like he threw my purse outside and dumped outside of his lawn. Like he started getting really mad.
Why? What caused him to do that kind of stuff?
Anything would trigger it. Like if I mentioned other girls, but just primarily when the case came up, everything ticked him off.
Okay.
Like he started getting red and screaming and would take random walks, like just acting like a crazy person. But I mean, because he thinks he's going to jail, I guess. I don't know how that feels. So
Right.
Right. It would be like,
get into a lot of fights, like after like yelling physically, like
we saw on the news. You mean when the case came out? What do you mean about the case coming out?
thing, like in the media when they signed his affidavit and he didn't go to jail when Catherine got arrested, when Lewis got arrested with Garcia or whatever. So like every time something would happen, it would like and he would have to take Xanax and deep breaths and like smoke every night because he can't sleep or be alone. He could never be in his house. He would tell me, like, I have to go outside I need to leave the house because I'm just going to think at home. And he would get mad at me if I didn't want to go on the boat because he didn't want to be home. Like, he just said, "You don't understand." And I don't know, he started getting like, not like crazy violent, but like just little things would make him very angry.
Throwing the water on you and stuff?
Like, he shoved me before, but nothing else. Just like moved me once.
Well, I'm sure that was pretty scary, especially if he's enraged like you say he was.
I got scared of him once. Yeah, because he was like forcing me to go on the boat. And he was like just acting crazy. And I wanted to leave because he was scaring me. Oh.
Right.
And he wouldn't let me. He was like following me and watching my every move and stuff.
Wow.
Well, it definitely sounds like you are much better off just by hearing from your own words.
Definitely.
Now that you're bringing all these times up,
Yeah, it's easy to see when you look back on it
I know.
and think,
You try to block it out, I'm sure.
because when you miss him, you think of all the good things and you forget about all these.
As the other girls are with the baby and the dog. I always think if me and stuff, but
The way I see it, be glad it's not you.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
Be glad it's not you.
And if he did do it, I guess he deserves whatever is going to happen.
Exactly.
exactly.
And you don't need to be involved in that. You don't want to be in that house and dealing with that, going through what you went through, and you don't want to deal with that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And
Have you spoken to, like, his neighbors or anything?
No.
should we?
No. I just know the one on the right to him. They're like best friends.
Are they?
He probably, since he's very close to Charlie, I don't know if he probably doesn't know anything either.
Yeah.
Who do you think might know something that we could talk to?
I don't know, because I don't know who he was involved with before me, like during that time.
Right.
So the ones I did know of they came, I don't know if they came when I came, but they're not friends with him anymore, so.
With the ones that we talked about a while ago, the ones who aren't friends with him, or are you talking about somebody else?
A while ago, some of them.
Like the girls? Are you talking about the girls?
No,
Like Darren and
yeah.
The other guys?
You already talked to him?
No.
we talked to a bunch of people.
Who are the guys? Are there other guys out there that are no longer friends with him that you haven't talked about?
I think so. Just the ones that I mentioned to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Corey is a part of their crew who lives by him. But he wasn't that close to Charlie. He only knew of him through another friend, like an acquaintance. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
back detail or event, but basically that he was just a totally different person when the whole thing came up. And then he changed for the worse. And he was crazy. He was scary. He just wanted it to end. Like when I was with him. So I think he just wants his life back to how it was.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But I do know he makes his bed a lot and sleeps in it too.
Yeah.
He's always like not thinking before he does stuff. Sometimes he's very like, he just likes to have a lot of fun. And he's irresponsible, I think, just because he doesn't have to work now. And he has nothing else to do. He likes to drink and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Party.
So let me ask you this. Was he talking to Katie a lot while you were dating before this whole thing became public?
Oh, just during.
So after it hit the media, that's when he started talking to her again?
At least not that you know of, right?
Yeah, not that I know of.
Did she work for him? What about, did you see the media reports?
I think she was working for the dermatologist. Jerry, that he worked at his office, Katie, or she worked at his office, Katie.
Did you see the media reports showing where he was getting a paycheck? I mean, she was getting a paycheck from him.
Yeah, I think it was before I was with him or something.
Okay. Did you ask him about it? Did he ever talk about it?
Yeah. He said, oh, yeah, she would just do stuff or whatever, like help my mom or here and there. So then he was like, they didn't even look at where Katie worked. Like 6 jobs, he said, or something. He used to say she could have got money from a car accident, tips at her night job or whatever, but I don't think it would equal to as much as they're saying. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess so.
Did he see that she was driving his dad's car?
I saw it in the 2020 or
What did he say about that?
they make it seem like it was a nice car. It was an old Lexus that my dad wanted to get rid of and something, I don't know.
So they just gave it to her?
Did he give you a car?
No, I mean, I was using this car. He bought the Range Rover for a little, but he got rid of it. I don't even know why he bought it.
But you were dating him, right?
And my car, it's like getting old. So I just didn't want to be driving it. He said I can use it.
He hasn't offered you any cars since you all broke up, has he?
He wanted to get me a BMW before the case. And then
When you all were dating?
and he was like, I can't do anything for you now because the case, they're tracking my finances.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes to show you guys were dating and he was wanting to do that. You know, they're not even together and he's giving her a car.
No, that is weird to me. And he said he never paid for any implants or anything that they're accusing him of doing or something.
Of course he's going to say that. The car, did he have that car when you were dating him?
One,
Did you ever see that Lexus? The Lexus.
no, I never seen it.
He had already... You never seen it before. Okay. You started dating him in 15, you said. No, you met him in 15?
And then a year later, you started dating him.
A year later. Is that what it was?
I might have been 16. I have to look at my pictures and stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But you never saw the car. Okay. Okay.
Met him in 14, actually. Or like around, no, because he was with Whitney. He wasn't with Katie when I met him. So it was after Katie.
Okay.
I think Whitney might have been right after Katie. I'm not positive on all his girlfriends, but
Right.
Yeah, nobody is. Okay.
it does sound like it's it's like a piece of work, I guess, to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're just trying to figure out, and the kind of excuses he gave you, and talk about some of these things. You said that Katie worked for his mom?
He just said that she would help out, and we paid her, for little things. And
Help out where? Like how?
but I think he just met. I don't know. He's probably lying to me. Honest, I don't know.
Okay.
Because Katie worked at the dermatologist office and a real estate office for a while. So I don't even know when she would be working at. She had like a lot of different jobs, he says.
How do you know about the dermatologist and the realty office?
Ollie told me that she worked at the realty office. And then when I went to see Jerry before, I think before I knew Charlie or something, Katie was at the front desk and I met her there.
Okay, so you saw her working?
Before I even knew Charlie, like everything.
Right.
So I've seen her like once,
At the office?
5 years ago. Like,
When she was working for Jerry.
yeah. She might have been dating Charlie at the time, but Jerry is also not friends with him anymore.
He's not?
No, not for a while. Not even when I was with him. They stopped being friends. So,
What caused him to have a falling out?
at a roommate dispute, like, he blames Jerry for using his house, like, I don't know, to sell something there. And the neighbor told him, like, something really stupid. I don't know. Something like when he was out of town, like Charlie was away, and Jerry did something in the house, and he kicked him out of the house or something.
Okay.
Sounds like Charlie doesn't get along with a lot of people.
Yeah, it does. I mean, not that he doesn't have friends or anything. He did scare me one time. Now that I think back. in the text he was coming back from Thailand or something, and I had to pick up his car at his friend's body shop to get done. Oh, no, my car was there. So I had his Mercedes, and I had to drive the Mercedes to pick up my car. And I had it planned where I would bring both cars back to the house. But I found out that he was with that girl in the Philippines. So I got mad and said, I'm leaving your car at the shop. You can get it when you come back. And he like went ballistic. And he said something like, I'm warning you. You don't know what's coming to you or something. Like threatening me. And he scared me because he was like, you messed with, you're going to regret it. Or something like saying like scary things to me. He would do that a lot. I think he was kind of like, I guess you could call it schizo sometimes. He would be lovey-dovey 1 second, like X's and O's, and then the next he would be a totally different person, like yelling, like mad at you, screaming, like, and then go back to like being fine, like flipped.
Wow.
Flip that switch for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I still have conversations from him, probably, but I'd have to dig through.
Texts?
Yeah, but the text said, like, he would say, like, when he would get mad, he would just say to watch out or something.
Mm.
Just like things like that, which I thought was really scary.
Was this all after it kind of came public? Or has he always been like that?
It was all after.
Okay.
During the beginning, he was like an angel. And then, right when the media thing came up, a lot of things changed.
Maybe it's finally seeing his true colors.
And maybe that too, because we were together longer
Uh-huh. After?
after that part.
A little bit of both, probably.
Yeah.
Know him like at the beginning, and then we blame everything on the case.
It's easy to do that. I mean, he has not blame himself for his own actions.
Yeah, and he was like, if I didn't, I would have. Don't you think they would have accused us by now or something? Saying things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you think you might have some of those texts still, you think? The conversations with him where he's threatening you?
It's in WhatsApp. So most likely if I dig through it, like years ago or something, it's probably in there. Like, I'd have to look through it. But, like, when he gets mad, he gets mad. He gets, like, really angry.
Did you...
And he always has to have his way. He's very selfish.
Did you end up leaving his car that night? Or did you end up taking it back to the house?
I left it there.
Did you? Good for you.
Yeah.
At his friend's shop. Who's his friend?
His name is Sully. They're still friends.
They are.
Yeah. I think he's one of the few left. Him and Robert Stanton are still friends with him.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. I was kind of caught off guard now, but I'm trying to, like, think back.
Sure.
Nothing that comes to mind right now. No.
Well, you have my contact information.
Did you call me today again?
I did.
What was your cell phone?
Yeah, that's my
That was
yeah, that was my cell phone, so you can reach me on that.
Before you pulled up, actually.
Yeah, it was right before you pulled up.
even know, like, who you guys were. Did you follow me in?
No.
I came after you.
We were
We were already here.
So you already went to my door.
We hadn't gone to your door yet.
Oh,
We just happened to all get here at the same time.
funny.
we didn't want to talk to your roommate because we didn't want to, like you said,
And you recognized me.
Yeah.
recognized your car.
You have your Keller Williams picture on the side.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like, that's her.
That's funny.
So, yeah, we didn't want to, like we said, we're not trying to mess you up or anything like that.
No, I know.
We're trying to stay low key. And,
Yeah. It's nothing against you guys. It's just my issue with him, I guess.
we know.
We understand. We understand that. We just had to, we have to do our job and we have to follow up.
I know. I understand.
And we try to do it quietly so the media doesn't know we're here talking to you.
My sister was like, you need to talk to them. Everyone, like, wants me to say everything bad, but I don't really know anything, and
We just want you to tell the truth and whatever you know. We don't want you to tell us what you think we want to hear or what you think we're looking for. We want to know truthfully, and that's all. That's all we needed.
I don't know if this little tip helps, but we were looking at horoscopes, and I was reading his to him, and he said something like, something you did back then will come back now. It's going to take a big toll on your life or something. And he's like, wow, isn't that so true or something?
Really?
Oh, wow.
This was after the media stuff came out.
Yeah, like during, yeah. Because he was always stressed. And I said, look what your horoscope says.
And he said, isn't that so true?
Like, wow, that's on point or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's also what made me think, like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make me question it too.
If you didn't do it, why are you saying that?
Okay.
Well, if you think of anything else, let us know.
Yeah.
your name. I'm sorry.
Patrick Sanford, Special Agent Sanford, FBI.
Card I can have.
Uh-huh.
Mine's in the car.
I think I've heard of your names.
Here's mine.
Website or where people a blog where people kind of talk, web sleuths or something.
Uh-huh.
And I think they all followed the case.
My name is on the arrest affidavit, so that's where it's coming from.
Oh, I've heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought you were just part of Catwoman's team or manager.
No.
I don't know.
No, my name is on the arrest affidavit for Katie. So that's where my name probably got out there.
So you read some of the blogs?
It usually has accurate information because those people are like the diehard fans of following up.
Follow every little detail of the case.
Yeah. So they always post, and I'll check in every couple of weeks. I used to look at it every day when we were together, but
Trying to cut him out of your...
control anything now or what happens to him, and I'm not with him. So I'm just like, whatever happens, we'll have to go our separate ways, you know?
Right.
So,
Well, my cell phone is not on that card, but you have my cell phone number. It's all my other contact information. It's my desk line and email if you ever need it. But you have my cell phone number in your phone. That's what I just called you from.
okay.
So you can call me on any of those. You know, they all will go directly to me and no one else will answer them.
Okay.
Okay. So, but if you think of something, because I know we sprung this on you yesterday, and there might be things you think of later.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, this happened. Like,
He might call me. I mean, he asked me last time. He's like, can I call you like whenever just to talk or the next couple of weeks?
well, he's not going to know. We're not going to say anything about talking to you. And you don't have to tell him that you talked to us. I would
advise you not to tell him.
Yeah, I don't even want to get.
It's going to cause you problems.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's going to really drill you and really
want to know what's going on with him.
He's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll really start questioning you and really want to know what you told us. And
or someone for me eventually. I don't want to say that.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
That's what I was afraid.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
You never know. When someone's facing, you never know.
Uh-huh.
Just keep it to yourself. That's the best way to...
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you, is keep it to yourself.
Yeah. I don't have any responsibility to tell him now.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I don't owe him anything anymore.
Absolutely. And like I said, we're not telling anybody. They don't even know. I mean...
Yeah.
We come down here periodically and talk to people, and we don't let them know we're down here talking to people. The only way they are going to find out is if you say something. And then, like you said, it's I advise you not to. You don't need that headache. Sounds like you've been through enough with him as it is.
Move on.
Yeah.
Just move on.
It's crazy. Yeah. Life.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
absolutely. All right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for...
Yes, thank you.
Sure. It's funny you caught me here because I was like literally in and out
Yeah.
from my mom's house.
Well, like I said, we just pulled in.
I'm glad we did. And having to bother you.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't want to do that.
We just wanted to.
There's Charlie's voice in the back of my head, and it's like, don't talk to anyone.
Right.
Don't talk to them.
Yeah, he's conditioned you over a long time.
It's like, maybe I shouldn't, like, get involved.
Right.
That's... He didn't want you to get involved, so...
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Give us a call. If you need anything, give us a call. I've got a card out in the car if you want it or you...
Mm.
We're always together, so...
Okay.
Okay.
But you can always call the FBI in Tallahassee, too.
Trial in July. Is there supposed to be one?
It got continued.
Yeah.
They are both together in October.
They're together now.
That they're apart again?
It's possible, but I don't think so. I mean, the judge ruled to put them together, so...
Better for you guys?
I think so. Yeah, because you have one trial and witnesses at one time and testify at one time,
Instead of bringing them back.
as opposed to two separate trials. I mean, it's, you know, it's better for the witnesses and the family and everything of having to go through it twice. Definitely. So that's where it's at right now, and they're both going in October.
And Charlie and the family is not invited. Like, they're in it or anything?
They're not under arrest right now. There's no warrants for their arrest right now.
They won the trial. It would be dropped or...
It's hard to say. It's hard to say what would happen.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks.
If they were found not guilty, it's hard to say what would happen.
He thinks that if they win, then the whole thing is going to go away. And
Well, that's why I guess I heard that's why they're telling Katie to be quiet or something.
Who's telling Katie to be quiet? Charlie?
Charlie. Katie's attorney who Charlie is paying. That's what people say.
Oh, it's what people say.
people say,
What do you know about that?
I don't know if it's true.
What did Charlie ever say about her attorney? Or
Oh, it's BS and stuff. What they're saying about that. I'm paying the attorneys and...
so you have no idea if he was or not? You never saw him trying to do anything? I mean, he's got a lot of cash, right?
always talk about multiple attorneys and say that Katie has a great one and would like brag about hers, that it was next to his or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh, Katie's attorney is next to Charlie's attorney.
Like he knew of them or something. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did he ever say anything about how he was telling them to keep quiet because he thinks it's going to go away? You heard that from him, or?
No, I heard it from the blogger people.
Okay.
Like, that's their theory. But also, we want, because he's like, Katie's got full immunity and she hasn't left or whatever. So he's like, because we didn't do it or something.
Who's Charlie's attorney? Do you know?
Oh, I think he might have switched them. He might have a few. I really.
Like the one who's next to Katie's attorney?
No, because I don't know. No.
Miami's a big place. There's lots of attorneys in Miami. Fort Lauderdale. It's kind of a coincidence that Charlie's attorney is right next to Katie's attorney, isn't it?
It's, I mean,
He never said anything else about that other than being a good attorney. Never really talked about, did he know her attorney is, or anything.
I think he knew them because he would praise them and say, like, I remember he told me the name and had me look them up or something, and they worked for celebrities or famous athletes who got off, he says.
Uh-huh.
Like, who like, he won the trials for or something.
All right.
I think he's just planning to win and move on. But I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it to a jury, and the jury decides. So that's how it works. All right.
You guys are going to be there.
Yeah.
And do you have to talk also?
Uh-huh.
I see. You guys were at the scene or no?
I was not at the scene. My other partner before her was at the scene.
I was involved on the day it happened. I was there that day, and then I kind of had a break from the case and then back on it.
Did you interview Wendy that day?
That was my other partner. That,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
He just retired recently. That's who I worked the case with. We worked it for a couple of years. He did all that, and then he retired recently. And she actually took his spot, but she's been helping us with the case throughout.
Throughout all of it.
Yeah.
Charlie is a jokester too. So that TV comment and the other ones, I just see him saying those.
About the hitman?
Yeah.
Like, why would he even say that if
Yeah.
I thought that was weird? But a lot of the stuff online makes it.
Like when you put all the facts together.
Yeah.
Just think, there's stuff that hasn't been released.
Oh, wow. And my sister is always like, it's a no-brainer. Like, obviously.
And that's just the stuff that's been read.
One says,
Yeah, that's just the stuff that's been released. So,
wow. Yeah.
so that's already pointing at him.
Always like, oh, well, he hasn't been arrested. And he's not guilty until proven.
Uh-huh.
Or, you know, that whole saying and stuff. So,
Innocent until proven guilty,
Yeah.
especially when you have him in your ear telling you he didn't do it.
living is normal.
And you,
Life and stuff.
you're involved with him.
Mm.
Emotions.
Yeah, they're going down monthly. I guess it was. I thought we were going to, like, spend the future together. Like, you know, he was the first one I thought.
Something more than just a right now situation.
Yeah. So it was weird to, like, crush all my dreams and stuff. But I guess it's for the better. So
Hang in there. Be patient.
Yeah.
You'll do fine.
You're making it without him so far. It will get easier as it goes. All right.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to
Oh,
a lot more time than we anticipated.
land on it. Yeah.
Sorry to keep you so long.
that's fine. I talk a lot too. So once I get started.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this at 7:55 p.m.
Good times.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you,
Oh my
Remy.
gosh.
Thank you. Wow.
Judy,
What a
oh,
performance.
Jude, you made me break character in the very beginning. I was just like,
Where are you?
Was it pretty funny and stuff? Like, oh,
I wonder if she watches this.
Do you like that picture up there? Did you see the picture?
I
Oh,
saw
wow.
somebody in the chat mentioned it. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a picture of Charlie.
Oh, that picture. He looks like an insect.
But see, it actually doesn't make sense because that picture was from one of his hearings.
Of
And
course.
June's interview was actually in July 2018.
The
But
continuity.
anyway, I thought it would be funny anyway to put that
That's a
up.
nice touch. So when do we
Yeah.
start next week? What day does the trial begin? Jury selection
The
next week?
17th.
The
Tuesday.
17th. Okay.
Yeah. So, as Charlie said, it's our Super Bowl. So we got to push around our schedules and work obligations, family, push that off to the side.
And I've heard there's been mention that if and when Wendy gets arrested, we're all supposed to eat tacos. Have you heard that?
Tacos.
Tacos?
Why
Tacos.
tacos?
I hear that we're supposed to eat tacos if Wendy gets arrested. I heard it on Instagram. So yeah, spread the word. If and when Wendy gets arrested, we all have to eat tacos.
Big taco party.
Taco
That
party.
doesn't make
for-
sense. What about banana bread and paella? Oatmeal. Bullet. I don't know why they said Tuesday, tacos. Because it was actually Yindra that mentioned Taco Tuesday. Because that was the date that the investigators burst in on her when she was at work.
Okay.
The
Well, where was she
interview person,
eating
she was like,
lunch? I wonder what lunch she was at lunch, right?
or she was getting ready to go to Taco Tuesday when
Maybe.
the agents
That's
came
it.
in.
Maybe she was just casually eating tacos.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to eat tacos when Wendy gets arrested. But that's just me. So people can
I'm
eat
doing what
whatever
I've
they
been told
want.
to do.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here and putting up with
Thank
this.
you.
You're
It's
welcome.
just
It was fun.
Thank you for having us, as always.
yeah. So Patty, what does your badge say?
Oh, well, across the top I wrote police, and under that I wrote 1 Adam 12, which shows my age. That's an old TV show. 1
Nice.
Adam 12, 1 Adam 12, B&E in progress there.
What show is that from?
It was called, I guess, Adam 12.
Nice.
It's an old police show from the, I don't know, 70s, 60s.
Oh, okay. So that's definitely before Remy was born. So
Yeah.
Remy is younger than I am, I think. So.
81.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're just like a young spring chicken then. Gosh. So, yeah, anybody have some questions for Remy or Patty? Because Patty actually worked for Harvey Adelson for 1 year, roughly,
Yeah.
1986.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I do have a question that somebody posted. After your live stream, somebody asked Patty, well, don't you think you were kind of assuming that you were terminated? Because it wasn't Harvey who actually said you're fired. That maybe you should have clarified it with him.
Probably, but the very next day, his assistant, why can't I think of her name? The one that I like and nobody else does. She called me the next day and said Harvey wanted her to come and pick up my key. So I wasn't really assuming. I mean, it was clear then. Clarissa came to my house and picked up my key, which I also thought was weird because I'd been glad to go out there and drop it off next time I was out, but it's like, ooh, Harvey had to come get it right away. So I didn't break in that night, I guess, and steal his drills or something.
He was afraid you were going to come in and destroy the office or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, geez, that does sound like they were definitely getting rid of you then.
Well, he said he wanted me to come back, but then I think he had the temp that he liked her too. And I think he was always suspicious I wasn't really coming back. Like, I think people who lie a lot are then skeptical about other people. And I was upfront and honest, but, he's going to hedge his bets, and no matter who gets screwed over, right? Oh, well, he had this temp. He knew she would take the job. So why take a chance? Maybe I won't come back. I don't know.
So, but did you say the last time you spoke with Harvey, he actually praised you and said he couldn't go on without you, something like that?
Yeah, he called me at home, and after he heard what happened, my car accident, and he said, well, you're coming back, aren't you? I don't want any other hygienist but you. Laying it on thick, right? But I mean, I did a good job there. The patients liked me, and that's always important, that the patients, like you too. And so, I mean, yeah, I thought he was telling me the truth, not to be boastful. I guess that sounds kind of bad, but he was just manipulating me. I think he was feeling me out, because this is back before the days of cell phones and stuff. And I actually think, because I came back from my honeymoon, I'll bet he didn't even believe I was in a car accident. And he probably called me at home to see if I answered my phone. That's what I think anyway, but.
I've been around people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Porky wants to know, was Harvey a rude boss?
Actually, no, except for the way it ended. That was pretty rude, maybe a little more than rude. But no, he was always very happy and friendly, and I thought very reasonable. I had an hour for each patient, and he paid like a little bit better than the going rate, and he just seemed like he just enjoyed laughing. He wanted, one of those kind of people, they just kind of want to be happy. And then he had this picture of Donna behind this big picture of Donna behind the front desk. It's like he was so proud of her, like love of his life,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Because a lot of people would probably be kind of scared to go on camera and talk about them, because now you're on their radar again. Like, ooh, there's that Patty person.
And I have thought about going to court, and I think Harvey's going to be there. And I've been thinking, well, should I wear like a mask, like a COVID mask? Because I don't want to talk to Rashbaum either. Like, I imagine he watched that. So,
he's going to be if he goes, he's going to be avoiding everyone. It. He's going to have like horse blinders on, just trying to avoid eye contact. I can imagine.
Yeah, no problem.
Good.
No, Harvey.
Harvey.
Oh, Harvey. Oh,
He would
Yeah.
probably avoid eye contact with
You're
you.
right. Yeah. But, I keep reading about, I've read about Harvey has this horrible temper. So I'm like, I better sit back a couple, because I'm going to sit on that side because I want a view of the jury, but I'm going to have to sit back a couple rows, I guess.
Like father, like son. I mean, we heard he was dumping water on June. What a
I know. When I read through the script, I hadn't read it before, and I was pretty horrified how
Jesus.
horrible he was, how mean. Yeah, he had a temper too, definitely.
And conditioning her to just never even speak. Like she just had to listen to him. We know from the phone calls, he just lectures endlessly, trying to sound like he understands everything. And she was just conditioned to just be like, yes, 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 and not even like have, an identity.
I feel so bad for her because she seems so sweet too. She seems like a sweet person. And I feel bad for any woman who would think they need to put up with that. But I guess if you want a rich boyfriend, maybe it was about money and the big purses, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The limo, the fancy vacations that he
Ferrari.
paid for.
Yeah.
The Ferrari.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton bags. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still kind of guessing more likely Harvey doesn't have the nerve to show up. But if he does, he'll probably have at least a couple of handlers, just like Wendy had her friend running interference for her, being protective of her.
Yeah. I mean, this is his last chance to see her. Or no, I guess he could go visit her in prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling he's going to be there. Did you see him at the airport? It's like he didn't even want to leave. He wanted to go to jail with her. Ever saying, no, he has to go. Like, well, she's going to jail. Like, he still wanted to go with her.
Meanwhile, she thought he would require elder care just to get out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so Rosemary wants to know, what is Remy's association with the case?
Yeah, I was just obsessed with the lack of justice for so many years. I mean, 2015, 2016, and then 2017, 2018, 2019, I would just Google Charlie Adelson and see if he had been arrested yet. And my God, year after year, he wasn't arrested. I was just pissed off.
Me too.
Just looking at him and listening to Wendy's, interrogation tape over and over again. And then I saw Judy's channel and became a huge fan of Judy's channel and, Mentor Lawyer, Fancy, the OGs. And at one point, Judy asked if anybody, I think, Judy, you may have said if anybody wants to volunteer on your show. So you're kind enough to let me on. So
well, thank you. Thanks for being willing, you guys both, because this is still taking up your time.
No, I enjoy it.
I'm glad to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in a way, I feel like this is our service to Dan Markel to get the news out about his case. And to me, it's so fascinating to look at every little detail of the case. So, yeah, thank you. Oh, so thank you, Emmy. So this person, this person is telling us why we're supposed to eat tacos if Wendy gets arrested, or when. Yeah, okay, thank you. Tato is called taco accidentally. Okay, that's funny. Thank you. Hi, hey Mona. She says that TV show was on from 68 to 75.
1 Adam 12. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, thank you. Hey, Harley, thanks for being there. Oh, thank you. Nothing going on. Hey, I did teeth whitening several times over the last week. So,
they look nice.
Definitely.
Thank you. You look great. You make such a good June. When you first sent me the script, I don't think at some point I didn't know which part I was playing yet, and I didn't know if you were going to need to rest your voice, and I thought, oh, please don't make me June. There's no way I can look like the beauty of Miami, and you are too. But I mean, I even have these chicken patties. You know what those are? Chicken patties. You put them in your bra, and it makes you look bigger. Like I was already thinking, okay, how am I going to try to look like June? I was going to get out those chicken patties, which I'm sure I needed. I bought them, and I've never used them, not even one time.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, because I do have like extra padding that I stuffed in here. So this is not my natural look, people.
You look great though, and with that Hooters, oh my God, I laughed when I saw.
I saw my little sister today and I was supposed to get her official black Hooters tank top because it's more low cut. But I totally forgot to get it from her because she worked at Hooters in Asheville a long time ago when she
No
was
way.
a college student.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she actually worked there. She said at the beginning it was great because they had lots of business and they would get lots of cash tips. But after a while, business kind of died down, so it wasn't really worth it to work there anymore.
Right,
So,
right.
but June did work at Hooters before. It's on her social media where she was
Really?
at work. Yeah, with some
Oh.
of her waitress friends. Yeah. So, but I think she did have on the white with the orange tank top, not a black tank top. So,
Oh, great. Yeah.
yeah. Rosemary wants to know, what are my feelings about June? How do I feel about her now that I played her on TV, well, on YouTube? Well, I mean, she does seem like a really nice, sweet person who obviously gives people the benefit of a doubt. But, I just really did not like the way she came across at any of the trials. Because even at Charlie's trial, I was still holding out, hoping that she was finally going to tell the truth without, backpedaling and trying to make it tough for the prosecution.
Yeah.
But she still did the same thing. I don't know if it was just because she really forgot, or was she just continuing to act stupid and try to, take back what she had actually said to the police. So it's very frustrating.
Well,
I wish she'd be more forthcoming.
She even talked to Charlie in the courtroom as she was leaving. Like she said, "Happy birthday," or
Yeah.
"Hope you're doing good," or something. I mean, right in front of the Markels. Like, ugh, yeah.
And I wonder,
Yeah.
I just wonder how absolutely clueless she was of even doing that. Do you think she was just so in her own head when she did that it was just didn't even register that was a disrespectful thing to display in front of the Markels?
Probably, yeah.
Part of me just thinks that, I mean, her entrance to the last trial was like legendary. She was, I think somebody in the comments was mentioning it. She was late, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cell phone's going off, and she's got the huge. It seems like she has like multiple bags of like belongings.
Suitcases, yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, it's like a character. You gotta love it.
Actually, I think.
The bags. What are in those bags? I mean, you're bringing them in the courtroom.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, maybe she has lots of beauty products,
Right.
different changes of shoes. Yeah, but apparently she had to go to the airport right after she testified. So that's why she had all her bags and luggage stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And actually, she wasn't late. I think they were ready for her early. And her alarm went off on the stand because that's the time they had told her.
Oh.
So.
Priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was kind of strange at first when nobody knew what was going on. And they're like, oh, they can't find the witness. And then we're afraid that maybe she had just run off or, was so scared or nervous.
And then Judge Everett says, "Did you enjoy your tour of the courthouse?" And she didn't even get it. She's like, "Oh, no, I've been here before."
He has got to be the most hilarious. I mean, he's got to be the most hilarious judge I've ever seen. The way that he just rules over that courtroom, his tone of voice, when he's ruling on something, it's just so matter of fact. I love it.
Yeah, I like him. I really like him.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so hysterical laughing through it. Thank you. Wondering if Harvey is brave enough. Yeah, I'm not willing to bet money on it, but my guess is he's not going to be there.
Really?
I mean, it's too stressful for him.
But to keep that story together, I first thought that there's no way, but I've seen people saying that he's going to show up, and now I think I'm in the camp that he's going to show up, because to keep that story at least like threaded together, with his wife and her being arrested and then both acting like they were so surprised at the airport, it almost seems like he's got to be there.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, let's see if we have questions for the guests here. I mean, here you have someone who actually knew the Adelsons and saw Wendy and Charlie at her wedding. How did you feel when you saw Wendy and Charlie at your wedding?
Well, I think I was really nervous about the wedding anyway, but I just remember my reaction was just like, oh no, because I had told a friend of mine that she couldn't bring her kids. I just felt horribly embarrassed. You know, it wasn't fair. And the kids weren't on the guest list, and they said they were going to go strictly by that list. So I don't know. I'm sure Harvey did some fancy talking or something.
So with Donna, when you would interact with Donna, did she seem like she genuinely was paying attention to you, or did she seem fake, or just kind of like, was there a genuine connection there whenever you would happen to talk to her? Or?
Well, only time I really saw her is when they had a problem and didn't pay me one week, and they knew I was mad about it. So instead of making me wait till the next week, because I only worked there one day a week, she drove over to my other job to hand deliver my check. And I was still burned up about what happened. So instead of saying thank you, I said, just set it over there. So I'm pretty sure she didn't like being treated like that. I wouldn't either. I actually used to feel a little bit guilty about being rude to her. But then I found out she murdered Dan Markel. I'm like, I don't care now. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, so Patty, what about in terms of who paid for the wedding? Like if that were me, I would have been mad because I'd be like, now I have to foot the bill for these 2 extra guests.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't even think of that at the time, but later I did, and I just thought that was so assuming and so rude. And the fact was, he and Charlotte weren't really on the guest list either. Charlotte asked me if they could come, so I was kind of doing them a favor when, you know, we only had 35 people there, so I was really limited to close family and friends. And then, I went ahead and said they could come, and then they bring 2 more. Like, well,
that's just so rude. Yeah. Well, did Charlotte give you a gift?
No. And I didn't even think of that either. Really, my whole thing was seeing the kids there and knowing my friend, who I'm sure had to struggle to pay a babysitter because they didn't have a lot of money. And she was the daughter of a boss I had long ago. We were friends, we were friends for years. And she was recently married and had 2 little kids. And, you know, if anybody could have brought their kids, I would have said they could. So I was just so embarrassed. I felt terrible. I hope I talked to her and told her what happened.
Yeah, that way she wouldn't feel like, what? How come these random kids were invited, but my kids couldn't come? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what about this? Hi, Joy. June was such a disappointment. I agree. I was like so annoyed. It's like I've given up. I can just see her just acting like she can't remember stuff again, trying to help the Adelsons. It's ridiculous.
Well, and he was so threatening to her. She was afraid to get on the boat with him. That made me feel so bad for her. But then why this whole turnaround in court where all of a sudden she doesn't want to testify against him and is telling him happy birthday? And what about the guy who you thought was going to throw you off the boat? You know, she was afraid to. Yeah.
It always seemed like she was somewhat reluctant to admit to the what was it, the stapled money back before.
Oh, yeah.
The defense realized they had to just openly admit that it was a thing, that the money was stapled and that was his.
That's right. Okay. Did Patty find the Adelsons to be vindictive? How well did you know Charlie? Did you ever work with Wendy? Oh, that was ages ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Can you answer this?
Absolutely, I think they're vindictive. Absolutely. I didn't know Charlie. He was at the wedding. That's the only time I saw him. Wendy I saw twice, but not even to talk to her. And she was little. She was, I'm not going to say 3. I think she was 7. We figured that out.
Or 6.
Off, but yeah. I didn't really speak with the kids. I definitely didn't work when I think Wendy worked at Harvey's practice in between her master's and her bachelor's maybe, or something like that. But yeah, that was long after I worked there. I'm old.
Okay. Well, did you ever run into people who knew them, or did you run into them later? Or is it a pretty big city?
Well, yeah, it's a big city, and no, I didn't know any of their friends, except I did get to know some of their patients, and patients were, a lot of the patients were real loyal to them. It was, I would say it was probably at least 90, if not 95% Jewish, and mostly Jewish retired people. And until then, I hadn't worked in a practice with a large Jewish population, and I really got to know them. I got really fond of a lot of them. The women almost kind of remind me of, I'm probably really over stereotyping, but you know that mother in My Big Fat Greek Wedding? It's like, are you hungry? No. Oh, I'll make you a sandwich then. A lot of my patients just seem like the real doting mothers, the real loving, nurturing. It just left a really good image in my mind of, a lot of the people I got to know there. But then you see Donna, who takes that nurturing to a far extreme of just controlling everything and coordinating everything and being in all their business. And when Wendy said she was so proud of her for graduating a virgin, I thought, what business was that at Donna's? I couldn't believe she would just get into they had no privacy. They had no, yeah, she's pretty creepy.
The driving back and forth. Can you imagine getting in what they got in a car and drove Wendy all the way up to Tallahassee, and then they drove themselves all the way back? Like, that is just mind blowing. What a total waste of time. And who would want to be trapped in the car with them for that long when you could just do it solo and zone out to the radio or something?
Yeah, she was already probably in her 30s, and they still had to drive her back and forth like she's some little kid.
Like a little baby.
I love how Georgia Kaplan usually asks her about that. It seems like that usually comes up at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that explains why Donna and Harvey were so angry about Dan, because they just saw him as being the problem that caused them to have to inconvenience themselves and take time off from their dental practice and drive back and forth and stuff. Yeah.
Judy, I meant to ask you, Wendy's friend who was in the police interrogation, who was giggling and laughing the entire time, has she ever been called as a witness at any of these trials?
No, I don't think she was. Yeah, she wasn't relevant to proving
a
case against those other people. Yeah, because she didn't have any dealings with, as far as I know, Charlie, Sigfredo, Lewis, Katie.
She was having the time of her life, giggling and laughing like it was.
That was weird. It was like she was kind of like enjoying, babying Wendy and holding her.
Yeah, on her knees.
Oh, she's cold. Let's get her a blanket, or let's wrap something around her. Or,
what a weird dynamic. Everything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Fancy has reported that this person is still supposedly a friend or supporter. And I think she's teaching at UGA. So, it's just bizarre. Yeah, it's like a lot of these well-educated, smart people, they're still supporting the Adelsons, which is absolutely strange. It's like, don't you guys have common sense? Why don't you watch some YouTube videos? Why don't you watch the trials? But
talk about, burying your head in the sand completely.
Yeah. Patty, do you want to answer this question? Oh, I don't think the picture was at the receptionist's office.
Oh, yeah, no, they have a good point. I thought that was kind of over the top. It was like he worshipped her, not just, yeah.
But didn't you say it was actually in Harvey's office?
No, this was behind the front desk where people would go to make appointments and pay their bill.
Really?
Right, the receptionist, this big 8x10 of Donna and her baton twirling.
That's crazy. Oh, I thought you meant it was in Harvey's office.
No, it was out there, which made it, that's what made it stand out to me. I don't care what he has in his office, right? But yeah, he had it there for everybody to see. I think he was really proud of her, you know.
We're all assuming it was his idea, that she did, it wasn't her idea. I mean, now that we know.
Oh, that's true. It could have been. Could have been.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
That happened behind the scenes that led to that.
Mm-hmm.
That could have
Interesting.
been.
But you know what's strange is that if Harvey and Donna had such a loving, you know, bonded relationship, then what the heck happened to their kid, to Charlie? Why was Charlie such a wreck and couldn't hold, you know, couldn't keep a real relationship, had all these superficial monetary control type of relationships with much younger women?
And Wendy at that writing class saying, I didn't have passionate love for Dan, but doesn't that die anyway? I'm like, why would she think that with her parents as her example, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about any lawsuits. Let's see. I know if they're being corrupt with their money at the practice. When I worked there, it was probably, I want to say maybe about 7 years before Harvey lost everything in that scheme. I forget what that kind of scheme is called, but remember he lost all his
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, there was another
Pyramid.
name for it, like
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, he lost everything. So I'm just wondering if when I worked for him, it was in his early days and he was starting to build up his practice and maybe he was behaving a little bit better. But then the fact he lost everything in the Ponzi scheme, you could tell he was branching out and trying to get into investments and stuff. So I don't know yet if he figured out, you know, all the illegal things he could allegedly be doing. I speak way too freely. You can tell I'm not a lawyer, but yeah, like insider trading and really I think that cash thing, having patients get a discount if they pay in cash, I'm sure that's for the IRS purposes, right?
Right.
Not report at all.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie, I mean, he didn't have a chance with that infantilization that Donna was involved with. I mean, she just would have never let him go. That the umbilical cord was just forever attached to Charlie, and to the point where he, you know, was just desperate for that attention because he was so used to it, and then it just carried out through adulthood.
Yeah, that's right. Remy, do you think it's a slam dunk case?
Oh yeah, this one for sure. I mean, it's a guaranteed. I'm just wondering and hoping Wendy will get arrested around this timeline. Wouldn't it be great for her to saunter out of the courtroom after she's done being a witness and walk right outside and into those handcuffs? I mean, can we get an amen?
Yeah.
Be taco night that night.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'd prefer to have some bullet in hand bread.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so tempted to go out of the courtroom after Wendy testifies. When she's leaving, I'm dying to just follow her and then videotape her getting arrested because it's in my mind, that's my ideal fantasy. They'll do it right when she's going down the courthouse steps. But
I've got a feeling. I just have that feeling. And we heard Georgia Kappelman on Mentor Lawyer's video say, Wendy, Wendy, Wendy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to think Georgia Kappelman saw Mentor Lawyer right there behind her filming. You know, she probably just, I don't know, some part of me thinks she knew she was being recorded and she just wanted to throw that out there to get in Wendy's head.
Well, actually, Mentor Lawyer wasn't physically there. He had an intern. Yeah, he has this new male intern who's there. And they're not actually doing the recording because it's like a official court feed where the YouTubers have to have some sort of special attachment to plug it into some machine or something. Yeah, so Mentor Lawyer wasn't actually, I think he was there because he said later he tried to get into that secret hearing about Rob, but he wasn't physically, recording himself inside.
But she probably saw there was someone, that intern, nearby recording, right?
Yeah, or maybe he was in the media room because I think it's like a separate machine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but Patty's Playhouse was there, and apparently Donna noticed her and said
Yeah.
YouTuber to
Yeah.
Rashford. Isn't that weird? It's like
He
how
said
did
what?
Donna
Wait, what happened?
know? Huh?
What happened?
Yeah.
Patty's Playhouse, Patty from
Patty
her
Wilson.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Not this Patty. So she was actually physically there at the hearing,
Right.
and Donna saw her and said to Rashbaum, YouTuber. So yeah, I wonder how Donna, because I Googled it, it doesn't seem like prisoners have the ability to watch YouTube,
Right.
but who knows? I mean, they're contraband cell phones and stuff, but
Charlie kept talking about the iPad and his iPad access and the iPad going dead. I mean, everything was with the iPad. Hopefully they don't have internet access. I mean, really, how comfortable are we making them?
yeah. Or it could be that Rashbaum's employees or staff, they could be watching all the YouTubers. So hello
Yeah.
to the defense. Hi, Wendy's minions. So they could have told her or showed her pictures like, hey, look at this one wacky YouTuber who keeps talking about you, and this other person says she's going to the trial, you know.
Like,
So
what does she think is going to happen once she points out YouTuber? Like, what, a lightning bolt's going to zap her or something?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Donna was trying to give Patty the stink eye, or
Wow.
hoping that somebody would follow Patty around. Yeah, because we do have to be careful, because I remember when Katie Colady and I were sitting together at Charlie's trial, I was typing on my laptop the whole time, chatting on somebody's feed, probably Deep Dive True Crime. And there was some young guy that was kind of sitting behind me, and he seemed to be kind of like looking at my computer like he wanted to see what I was doing. And I have no idea who he was, but
Wow.
for all I know, he could have been working for the defense attorneys.
Nosy.
Yeah. So we do have to kind of be careful, like watch who's around you. You don't know who's listening.
I would have turned
what
the
they could
brightness
do.
down on the laptop to like 5% brightness.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I just thought it was weird that the guy seemed to be like getting a little close to see what I was doing.
I would have been like, excuse me, what do you find so interesting here, guy?
Yeah, maybe he's just a nosy person. So
What do you guys think about Sarah doing the examination of Wendy on the stand? Because somebody made the point that Wendy is very, at this point, she's very aware and in tune with Georgia and her style, but Sarah might throw her for a loop. And if you watch Sarah's cross of Katie, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm a big fan of Georgia. I think she's awesome. But that's a point that Wendy would not be familiar at all with Sarah's.
Oh yeah, she goes hard.
Yeah.
I think both of them are really good. So I don't really see, a big difference. Like, oh, this person has to do the cross-examination of Wendy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I liked it that at Charlie's trial, Georgia seemed more sarcastic and like making these like snide faces or reports and stuff.
When she said like, getting along just fine or something like that.
Yeah. And when she said something like as supported by the banana bread.
That was so funny. Yeah. As evidenced by the banana bread.
Wendy's whole demeanor as we progress through each trial is getting less and less, just like she's losing all of her energy that she had in the first trial when it comes to Georgia. You can see her in that last trial. Many times when Georgia would approach the stand to hand Wendy something, Wendy's like searching for eye contact and Georgia's giving her none of it. But Wendy's just gives that desperate looking up at her, trying to get something going there. And Georgia's like stone cold, like we love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of them, they're just so amazing. This case has dragged on for so many years. So it's just so satisfying that they're still going after more Adelsons. Yeah, because remember before Charlie's trial, people such as, I'm pretty sure Tim and even Jeremy Mutz, they were saying, oh, I don't think they're going to arrest anybody after
yep.
Charlie.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's
but
see
we
here.
always had the one voice that has always said, they're all going down. We know who it is, Carl Steinbeck. I don't care what's going on. We know Carl's going to come on there and he's going to be like, this is how it is, everyone. And he's always right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Except the only thing I disagree with him, like he always keeps saying, I would have rounded them all up together. They should have just arrested all of them. I'm like, no, this worked out actually pretty well because it looks bad now, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just think if there was a fluky thing happened and a juror who couldn't sleep, and then, I mean, then all of them, I mean, they might, if they're all Adelsons are tried together and heaven forbid something goes wrong, you could blow it for everybody. You know, if they get off or have to retry them. But yeah, I like that one at a time. And she's gaining steam each time she gets one, and then she comes in a little stronger, a little more evidence. And Wendy, that's going to be the big prize.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Wendy must be having zero sleep right now. I mean, absolutely zero sleep without the aid of some heavy sleep drugs. I mean, she just must know. I mean, she lives in Texas, right?
Well,
yeah, that's what fancy sources confirmed.
Yeah.
So they've got to get her when she's done. I mean, it couldn't be perfect. Have her fly in, testify as a witness, walk out of the courtroom, and get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. It saves money.
Remy, do you think that's what's going to happen? I just saw a few questions ago, somebody asked you and I if we thought Wendy would get arrested right after the trial.
I think if there's a percent chance, that percent is going up right now. There's like a percent chance is going up by the day. And I think...
Yeah, I have no doubt she'll be arrested, but I just don't know when. And Carl Steinbeck had said he thinks by the end of the year. So I don't know if they would do that or not. I think it would be smart, though, isn't it? Since she's already moved to Texas and she speaks Spanish, and there's that whole thing with going to Argentina, that guest, that secret agent or SAA on Katie Cool Lady's show. She interviewed that lady from Argentina who was saying, well, all the things you have to do, all the hoops you have to jump through to be able to slide into that country and stay there for safety. And everything she was checking off, Wendy did.
Wow.
Not only does Wendy speak Spanish, but she speaks that dialect of Spanish, which in that country they love you if you bother to learn it. I don't know the right word for it, but
Yeah.
And then you have to have somebody like some notable person who will speak up for you. And I guess she did volunteer work over there, and she knew some guy who owned the whatever. I don't know the details, but she has all these things that lady was listing, and
she has connections and the language.
I guarantee you the FBI has set up surveillance all around her house. If they don't have somebody that they're paying to sit there and watch what Wendy's doing, I can assure you they've set up, I mean, video cameras. The battery power for little video camera GoPros can go for like a month without having to change the battery, and you can barely see them. And the FBI, you know, I would assume has carte blanche to put them anywhere they want. They can just tell the business owner, we're the FBI and we're putting a camera in you. But you know they've got eyes on her.
Yeah,
I sure hope so. Because after all, with Katie's friend, Yindra, it turned out the FBI had been following her for almost a year.
Wow.
So, I mean, geez, they spent all those resources just trying to spy on someone who ultimately had nothing to do with the murder.
Nice.
So I mean, hopefully they have those resources to track Wendy. They better, you know, I mean, because there's tons of evidence against her. So why would they let her just flee somehow?
Right.
Yeah. So Remy, that does make sense. They should just arrest her while she's there.
Right.
Why waste time?
And it shakes everything up for the trial in progress. That's going to shake up Donna. It's going to shake up Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to be shook.
Yeah. I'm liking this plan more and more.
I hope it happens. I mean, it's got to
Yeah.
happen sometime. So
Yeah.
maybe.
I
Yeah.
want to see Charlie on the stand. The looks between him and Donna.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If he is on the stand,
If
I can't imagine if they'd bring him down here if he's not, though.
Yeah, same here. But Mentor Lawyer didn't think that they would really call him because he still has the right, his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. So why would he want to say something when he's got an appeal?
Yeah.
I think we'll get Katie, and that's going to be interesting, seeing Katie staring Donna down and just being like, here's how it is. This is
I'm telling the truth. Telling the truth
truth.
now, finally.
We hatched this plan on freaking a Halloween party. Like, you know, if this turns into a film with, you know, I think that should only happen if the writer and director and producers go to, you know, Charlie's, or not Charlie's, but Dan Markel's family and actually get their buy-in. But if this was a film, it's got to open up with that scene outside the Halloween party. I mean, that is so cinematic. It's so just evil. What a setting for Charlie to ask her outside of a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Do you know someone that could do this to somebody? Like, that is so cinematic. I can just imagine it in a film trailer.
Yeah. So, okay. So Clarissa, that seems about right because Donna could have been watching tons of YouTube before she got arrested in terms of Patty's Playhouse.
Yeah.
She was aware of online activity. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Patty, did you hear about how Donna was going crazy calling Rashbaum multiple times over that weekend before you went on my show?
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because it was Saturday when I set up the StreamYard. So it showed up on my YouTube page. So people who were subscribed to me would probably, you know, see that show up on YouTube. So that's what I'm assuming, because why would she be freaking out and suddenly calling Rashbaum, I don't know, 20 times or so on a weekend?
Chain calling.
Yeah. Because, you know, even Charlie had mentioned this channel when he was talking with his child's mom, because the child's mom heard about Ryan Fitzpatrick coming to be on live. So, What would you say to Donna if you saw her, Patty? Just putting you on the spot. Do you have any words?
I don't even know what I would say. I'm just so, it's just so disgusting that her convenience was worth more than a man's life and her grandson's father. Their relationship with a same guy who could have brought so many positive things to them, completely opposite of what the Adelsons brought with their dysfunctional hatred. Just, I don't even know what I say. You know what I'd like to say to Rashbaum? I would like to tell Rashbaum, do the right thing. You need to tell Donna to beg for a deal because you're not going to get anywhere. You did it with Charlie. You lost miserably with Charlie in less than 3 hours. Where in that equation do you think it's going to work for her? He's just, you know, going to the bank, with his money. I don't think he's not doing right by them.
No, those kids, like, are the Adelson family, the least. I mean, they could not possibly care about those little boys any less. I mean, it's just, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, of course, but Wendy, my God, it's like the last human souls on earth that she took into consideration through all this was her children. And that is like the most selfish possible thing a parent could possibly do.
Definitely. Harley says he's never seen proof Wendy speaks Spanish. Well, I personally haven't seen proof either, but it was in Stephen Epstein's book. It said that Wendy had actually done some sort of study abroad program in South America, where I think she was working with poor people and she became like good friends with the director of some program there. So Dan was always proud of her being able to speak Spanish fluently. So that's why he called her Osita, which means little bear,
Oh,
because
wow.
they were the bear family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I heard. So sounds like she does speak Spanish. I don't know if it's really like a native, but anyway,
Right.
that's what I heard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Donna likes to be the center of attention. Wendy's used to getting her way. She knew how to push her. Yep. I think so. Oh, Clarissa is saying Castilian Spanish. Does that sound right?
Castilian Spanish is if you learn the Spanish that they speak in Spain, but I'm learning Mexican Spanish.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Favorite part of Wendy testifying in Charlie's case was her face when she was walking up to the stand and the deputy was standing by the chair. Wendy's face was, is that where she just looked like really nervous and she was like sipping her water?
Yeah,
And
be blinking.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well, and afterwards, once Georgia Kappelman dropped the mic on her at the end of that cross-examination, Wendy is just like blinking like a million times in a row. You can tell her chest is kind of like breaking out and like almost like hives. Like her chest gets really red. She's sipping the water, desperately taking a sip of water, the blinking. I mean,
yeah,
not a good time for her.
Yeah, she finally stopped looking so cocky and full of herself.
Yeah, that's
because
that's
done. Those days are over.
What's she gonna say now? Because she was always indignantly saying, "My family didn't do this." Well, now she has one put away, and she also has said, "I believe in our legal system," or she's like, the state's not going to arrest me because I did nothing wrong, and I believe in our judicial system." That's what she said. How does she reconcile that now? Because now she has her brother and her mom. Like,
that's not going to age well.
Yeah, I wonder what she's going to say now. Because at the time, when she sat in on that opening statement and heard all that tomfoolery, she said, "Well, I'm confused. Like, I didn't know any of this." And now she's had time to think about it. I wonder what she's going to say now.
No, I think she'll probably stick with that same story as long as it makes her look good. Right. So she'll just be, I had no clue. My brother and my mom would often talk, all the time. I had nothing to do with it. She'll just put on this whole innocent act, washing her hands of them. Like, I don't know these people. I didn't know what they were doing. Yeah. So she'll just save her own hide. That's the way it is.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're not going to be able to get the WhatsApp messages. Do you agree?
Maybe they could have been withholding it this whole time. That could be their like star piece of evidence. That was many years ago.
Awesome.
I mean, I know WhatsApp, that application prides itself on encryption, but I don't think that means it's outside of the reach of the FBI. So if they started investigating this years ago and they were aware of what was going on with the WhatsApp communications, they may have got the communication years ago and they've just been holding on to it and sitting on it maybe.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I'm still optimistic. I don't know what else is out there, but I know for sure we're finally going to see some more new evidence that hasn't been public so far. So, yeah.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think Wendy moved to Austin because she fears she may be getting arrested? Yeah, I think so. And plus, she wanted to get away from all the public opinion that knows about.
I don't think she did that for that reason, because they can arrest her no matter what state she's in, right? If there's a warrant for arrest. But I think she moved because apparently the boys couldn't get into a private school because the school said, "We don't want this controversy here." And and supposedly everybody was staring at her, and it got too uncomfortable in Florida. Like Texas was a fresh start, but they can arrest her in Texas just as easy, right? Well, maybe not as easy, but it can be.
Yeah, they can still do it.
Yeah.
Make a phone call to the Texas Rangers or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yala says, I'm certain Donna has been harassing Rashi about limiting people's access to the trial and people. Yeah, I'm sure that whole motion to move it to the small courtroom was Donna's idea. Because she knows that she's looking really bad, and she hates the fact that, now her reputation is becoming known, in a national or international basis. So
Yeah.
anyway, good
Yeah,
thing the judge denied it.
WhatsApp will comply with the FBI, and that includes all sorts of metadata. If they can't get, I think someone at some point made the observation that perhaps if they don't have the actual text messages or the actual voice call recordings, they may have the metadata from the WhatsApp text messages, which would be, where they were at, the GPS location of where they were at when they sent or received the messages, who they were going to, who received them, and that sort of like just basic information, which would be very useful.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I'm hopeful they at least have something.
Yeah, definitely. And you're the IT guy, so have you been paying more attention to all these like digital forensics types of evidence?
Right. Yeah. They've got her, all the pinging of the cell phone towers, and that's what they were trying to throw out, if I recall correctly. It wasn't Rashbaum trying to throw out the, one of the analysts of the cell phone tower information, that he wouldn't actually be a special witness or something, if I recall correctly. But yeah, that was all allowed in the previous trial, so I can't imagine it suddenly isn't allowed.
Yeah. Okay. So, Patty, do you think you'll be watching every day of the trial since you've retired?
Yeah, I'm going to go for jury selection and everything. I want to see the whole thing. But I just don't know if I'll be in there. If they're out, if the jury is out for several days on the verdict, I can't imagine staying in Tallahassee just day after day after day and waiting. But I really want to be there to see Don. I want to see her. I want to see it happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So, Patty, you also have a YouTube channel now. So hopefully you guys will subscribe to her. I think you can find it by searching for PattyN. What is it? PattyN 1032.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't post a lot, but I am going to from Tallahassee if I notice anything, I notice anything that's worth, letting people know. Because I just know if I couldn't, well, that's what happened to me with Charlie's trial. My dog almost died, had surgery, and it was really serious, and I just didn't feel like I could leave her. So I was going to go for that trial. But then it's like, oh man, when you can't go and you want to be there, it's like every little bit you can glean from the people who are there and are posting and saying stuff. It's like you're just all ears, So
the dog is 1,000,000,000 times more important than Charlie. So.
Oh, yeah. But Patty, I think people are so interested that during the trial you could totally do a quick live or quick update every single day, and I think people would watch. I would certainly watch it.
Yeah,
if you're there.
I have to try to learn how to do a live. I don't really know how, but I would like to do lives, even if they're short, because I like that interaction. I like talking, I don't want to just be blah, 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 like,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. We'll wind it up because I know it's over 2 hours now. So let me see if there are any questions. Lou said, is there any proof when he moved and took? Yeah, I never heard of Harvey going with her, but this is all thanks to fancy fiction. And I do have one source who said that Wendy did move to Texas, but I didn't ask this person how they knew for sure. So, but thanks to Fancy and her behind the scenes sources for telling us this. So, let's see. Okay, FBI, yes. So did you guys see those Scott Radius WhatsApp messages?
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
That was
Remy, did you see it?
I did not, but not surprising.
Well, you guys haven't been following Deep Dive True Crime because I've been posting about it on my community tab, Just to tell people, go take a look at Deep Dive True Crime's latest videos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, my voice is dying. Yeah. So basically, quick rundown. Scott and Harvey were sending tons of WhatsApp messages about this Vietnam villa that Scott's wife, who is Vietnamese, was able to purchase for Charlie. But after Charlie got arrested, of course, Harvey wanted the money back, because he said he needed the money to pay for an appellate attorney. And so Scott was very polite. And he was like, there's no trace of it. I can't get you the money. The money's already been used to pay for this Vietnam villa. And Harvey was like, can you send me some documentation of Charlie's ownership? And Scott was like, no, there is no such thing. Because also Charlie specifically did not want a paper trail. So there's no contract.
Right.
There's no proof.
Yeah.
But Scott said, if I recall, Scott said that he and his wife would pay the rest of it because there was still an extra $16,000 owed. And he said that they would give the rental income to Charlie or Charlie's kid.
Okay.
So hopefully that works out. I don't know. I don't know how Charlie is feeling about Scott. And I'm sure Harvey is pretty livid now.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see if there's, okay. Okay, I think Wendy ditched Harvey, who's cramping her style since he's still in touch. Yeah, I'm sure Wendy is very, very careful. I mean, she was just like that when she sent Donna that mean text saying like, Mom, I had nothing to do with Danny's murder
So
or
curt.
whatever. Talk through our attorneys. I'm going to focus on my children. And so, yeah, I'm sure she's being ultra careful of any communications, even with Harvey.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you, Clarissa. She subscribed.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And I think somebody pointed out that Argentinian Spanish is Castilian. So it's not only Spain, it's also Argentina. So whoever said that, thank you, because I had said I don't know what it's called, but there's some special dialect in Argentina. And if you happen to learn that, the locals really appreciate you even more. And because Wendy did her volunteer work there, she knows it. So she's got a big plus there.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Mona, you're in good company because I'm planning on trying to reduce my workload during the days when the trial is going on. Yeah, it's like I'm going to be mad if people want to schedule hearings or want to schedule consultations when I want to watch the trial. But yeah, well, yeah, this is a big deal because, I've been listening or paying attention to Dan's case ever since I heard about it years ago. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was really 10 years ago, but definitely since 2016 or so, when David Latt was reporting a lot about it on Above the Law. So, it's like, finally, let's have more justice for Dan. It's been so long.
Yes.
Really want it for Dan's family, too.
Yeah.
Justice for Dan.
Mm-hmm. So, Remy, are you going to change your schedule around for the trial?
I wish. Maybe. We'll see. If I could just clone myself, I'd be up there. I mean, it's like a 4.5 hour drive. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully.
Are you in Florida?
I'm in Florida. Yep, Central Florida.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so
yeah.
I know it's a heck of a drive just to get to Gainesville, and then I think it's like another 2 or 3 hours from Gainesville. So I'm like, damn,
right.
Long car drive, but
it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be funny if you guys actually live pretty close to each other. So.
Yeah,
right. If I could ever offer you a ride or anything, I'd be glad to. I just don't know how that would work out because I'm going to be there the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
Wow. Well, you should meet up with Katie Cool Lady because she's going to be there the whole time also.
Awesome.
saw her say that, and I put a comment in there about, hey, if you want somebody to hang out with, let me know. But I didn't. She didn't answer that, so I don't know. But she has. It sounds like she has a whole itinerary of I'm going to go here and here, and I'm going to go to the bench, Dan's bench in that park. And she has everything mapped out what she's going to do with her time. So
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's time to meet up with you. I'll put you guys in touch then.
yeah.
Because that was like part of the nice community feeling we had when we all went there for Charlie's trial, is that we all had lunch or dinner together, and it was just really nice that Dan Markel brought us together.
Right.
Just like this good feeling, like we're in this together to
Yes.
get the bad guys.
Yeah.
Find a good outcome, the best outcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So the product to make my teeth white, it was actually some sort of like whitening gel that I bought at Big Lots. So it was probably like $5 for this tube of whitening gel, and you just kind of like brush it onto your teeth and just hold it there for like a few minutes and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah. And they also, there are all sorts of like generic whitening strips now. It's not just Crest white strips that used to have a monopoly.
Right.
So I use both sometimes because I like drinking my tea and decaf coffee type stuff. So so it's kind of funny that YouTube kind of motivates me to whiten my teeth and try to put on some makeup and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm not going to wear the Donna shirt because I still feel like that would be kind of disrespectful if someone saw me wearing the Donna shirt. But Katie Cool Lady says she's going to wear that shirt that I made for her because she has a blazer that will pretty much cover up the whole thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's me. I think she said she's going to wear it on the day Donna gets sentenced. Is that it?
Or when Donna testifies, maybe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't do that.
I ordered these little brooch backings and a little spoons because I want to make spoon brooches, but I couldn't find little spoons. So I had this idea. I looked up on Amazon silverware for doll houses. So that's what I ordered. I'm going to get these pins with spoons. I'm going to have 4 of them. So I'll give you one, Judy.
That's cool. Wait, where did you get it again?
I'm going to make them. I ordered the brooch. It's just the backing of a brooch. And then I ordered some jewelry glue and these little dollhouse. It's plates and the whole silverware, like 4 settings. So I'll have 4 spoons.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I got that from Judy because you said, you got the owl earrings and I forget a necklace, something else. So
yeah. Okay, so people are talking about the texts. Yes, definitely. You have to. It was Mentor Lawyer who first. He had to pay a lot of money to get this because the state still charges somebody for all the manpower involved in reviewing stuff to make sure it's okay to release stuff to the public. Yeah, so he had to pay the initial fees, and so he showed the Scott Radius and RV Tech, WhatsApp texts, and what else did he get? It was mostly the Vietnam Villa info. Yeah, I love it that Scott snitched on them too. Good for him. Thank you, Scott. I mean, of course, it's kind of like sketchy that he would still be friends with Charlie for so many years, but good for him for doing the right thing finally and helping.
Better late than never.
Yeah. And the Vietnam Villa, somehow I think they paid, was it a total of $135K US? Yeah. And I don't really believe Rashbaum when he said it was just for like a six-day timeshare or something that had to do with 6 days. Like, why would you pay so much money to have a 6-day timeshare in Vietnam? Yeah. Investment. Yeah. Scott was a better con artist than Adelson. Yeah, because now his wife owns this Vietnam villa because legally in Vietnam it's hers. Yeah. So let's see, another stupid scheme by the Adelsons going to SHIT. Yeah. Thanks to the mods. Harvey still has money that is pure greed on his part. Why not leave it as investment income for Charlie's son? Yeah, that's true. Like, he didn't really need that for Charlie's appellate attorney. He just wanted to make sure it's all brought back to his side. Yeah.
You know what I don't like is Charlie on the it might be the jail calls. At some point he's talking to maybe his mom about what to do about the dog. Well, can't go to Breeze because her apartment is too small. And this is the mother of his son, his little boy, and he owned 2 houses. You mean he couldn't let her, even if he didn't give it to her, couldn't let her just go live in one of those 2 houses till his son was 18? I thought that was really very cheap.
That is very strange, but like, remember, for a little while there, his child's mother was constantly posting, maybe on Reddit, and she also was posting on Fancy Fictions chat for a little while. I mean, she made it sound like it was her own choice to leave Florida after Charlie was arrested. And so this is public record, but I saw in the public court records that she had been sued for either unpaid rent or, I think it had to do with not paying rent on time. And maybe that's how she got evicted from an apartment. So I was like, that's sad. Why wouldn't Charlie or Harvey and Donna give her enough money so she could pay her rent on time? That's not right.
Right.
You know, if I were her, I'd be pissed off. It's like, wait, Janice is living for free at Whale Harbor, and they just sold Tortugas Lane, probably made like, what? If it was paid off, I think it sold for, was it like over $1 million? Maybe.
I don't remember. But
yeah, I can't. No, they had to drop the price over and over and over again. But anyway, they made, Charlie or the family made good money off of Tortugas Lane. So anyway, so let me advocate for Charlie's baby mama for once and say, hey, the Adelson should be giving her more money so she can help pay for the child and not have to be in an apartment. You know, that's just weird. Yeah. But who knows what they're giving her now. So let's see. Oh, Mel Monker says, I almost turned down a business opportunity due to trial. Wow. That's dedication. Yeah. Okay, KCL said she'll be in her resting bitch mode during the trial. She's very, I think I'll be very focused too, and I'll be kind of annoyed if I can't scoot all my work around to cater to watching Donna's trial, plus my trip to Tallahassee. Yeah. Okay, you've been to Big Lots. Yes, the whitening strips work. Yeah. So everybody should use them. They're not that expensive anymore if you buy different brands. Yeah, Dan still brings together people. Oh, I already gave my gray suit to Skeeter Girl because she said that she could wear that size. And I thought I was done wearing that gray dress, so I mailed it to Skeeter Girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, okay. Let's see. Okay, hope someone's carrying a bottle of Bullet. Okay, remember Fancy Fiction told us it's really Bullet rye whiskey. Yeah. Okay, so Carl Steinbeck rocks. Yes. Yeah. Too bad I can't meet. So you guys could meet Carl because he keeps saying he's not going to be there until the end because he wants to be there when the verdict is read. Yeah. So I won't get to meet him. I guess someday I'll have to go to CrimeCon or something. Yeah.
I'd love to meet Carl. And Carl. I'd love to meet both of them.
Yeah, I think John might be there most of the time, or at least a lot more. Yeah, because I think John has also scooted his work schedule around so he can have the trial. Yeah, so I met John the last time. Yeah, really nice. He's like also like Carl, super tall. So
I hear that.
In order to take a picture, the two of us, he really had to like squat down so he could be on the screen with me. Same with Harley. Harley D was there, so I was so glad to meet him in person, and he's very tall.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's so cool. Do you guys have any like big opinions you'd like to share with people?
Ready to get this case going.
Yeah.
The hype is real.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really. I just want to see them nab Wendy. I want to see them get her so bad. And I used to have my big thing was I really blamed it all on Donna. I thought she was the big catch, but now it's like no, it's Wendy. When the more you learn about this, the more you can see how she was really
Influencing.
scheming and pushing buttons and
That's
She's
right.
smart. She's smart.
threw her own family under the bus. She started at her police interview, like that's why
Yeah.
she said those things. Charlie,
Or even in advance when she was telling Lacasse that, oh, Charlie looked into hiring a hitman last year and it would
Yeah.
cost about 15 or 50,000. Yeah. So she
Yeah.
was already planting the seeds like, ooh, Charlie's bad guy. Charlie's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Scott because of those WhatsApp messages, because it was very clear that Harvey was asking Scott for info about flights and where to stay. But the arrest warrant doesn't really match up with it because the arrest warrant said that it was a friend who hadn't talked to them in 10 years or so who was suddenly asking about accommodations and travel to the Philippines. So I'm thinking maybe the person who typed up the affidavit totally got it wrong. But
Right.
or Scott might have told a slightly different story to the prosecutors. I don't know. Yeah. But he probably, because he used to work for the police department, again, thanks to Fancy Fiction for telling us. So Scott, apparently based on Fancy's research, he did work for the police, but he was terminated due to fraud allegations or something. So maybe the former cop and Scott finally popped up and was like, hey, you gotta help, do something right. This sounds sort of illegal, or, it sounds like they're running from the law, so you should contact the prosecution. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure, I don't know if he really cared about his reputation because he doesn't even live in this country anymore.
right.
But I think maybe he was afraid that he could get in trouble, for helping them get this Vietnam villa or something. Yeah,
Right.
but good for him. In my eyes right now, he is ultimately a good guy because he helped people arrest Donna. Yeah. So, okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Helen. Yeah, see, this is what I'm not sure because I was asking Jeremy Mutz. Yeah, so Jeremy Mutz said that, as I expected, the state doesn't have the subpoena power to subpoena somebody from another country. So if he's voluntarily willing to come to Florida to testify, sure, that would be great. But if he refuses to fly over, I don't think they have the power to force him to come. Yeah. So that's a big question, but he is on the witness list. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Carl is super tall. I think he's probably at least 6.5 feet tall. Yeah. Because there are pictures that I think Katie Cool Lady posted. They got together during Charlie's trial after I left. So he's still towering over everybody in that picture. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Harley. Harley confirms he is 6'5". Jeez. Yeah, it really stinks being a short person. Like people just don't respect you as much when you're short. Yeah. So good for you being 6'5". Okay. So let's see. Wonder if Scott turned them in because Harvey kept bugging him. Yeah, maybe he started getting really annoyed because.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you think, Patty, that tipped off Harvey, so he quickly switched to being bad Harvey?
I don't know. I have a feeling. I wonder if they got those WhatsApp messages because Harvey didn't know what he was doing. Because I have WhatsApp. I talked to a friend in Australia. And I notice every now and then I get a message that he has changed the settings. And he's changed the settings so messages will disappear after 7 days. And if you don't know to do that, which I didn't, my messages are all still there. So I wonder if Harvey left his and didn't know to do that, but Scott would have, though, I'll bet. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they didn't delete anything quickly, or it somehow the FBI still got them. Yeah. So that's great. Okay, I hope the hammer will come down. Yeah. But with the tax fraud, though, I kind of feel like if his employees are still so loyal to him, then who's going to help the IRS? Who will help the authorities get him for tax fraud? You know, like if he still has friends and people who are not going to come forth and say, oh, yeah, he would pull in, $100,000 in cash, and, the tenants who would pay them rent in cash and stuff. If nobody's going to come forward and help the authorities, then they could get away with that too, if it were a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how Clarissa and Erica
Yeah.
testified this time. Do you think it's going to be so awkward because they'll be testifying against Donna?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. She was one of their bosses, right? Yeah. I don't know. I just think they're blindly loyal.
Yeah. But luckily they didn't seem as dopey as they did before, because I think Georgia or one of the prosecutors, whoever did their direct, they were very specific with their questions. So it wasn't anything where Clarissa or Erica had to feel uncomfortable or try to waffle or lie about stuff.
Yeah.
So they presented it. I mean, they did seem more credible last time. Although Erica did say hi, wave to Charlie when she left. Yeah, which was weird. Yeah. Okay. Scott is no hero. What he did snitch was Yeah, but ultimately it's good for the case. So that's what I care about, is like, does this help the Justice for Dan cause? Yes, it did. And it helped get Donna. So I'm not saying he's like such a great guy, because, I mean, on the other hand, he was perfectly fine being Charlie's friend for all these years.
Right. I think when he was answering back and forth with Harvey about flights and where would they stay, what hotel, and this and that, I wonder if he didn't at some point realize he could be seen as an accomplice, and that's why he called Georgia.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I don't know why people keep saying something about someone cussing. Your son cussed or something. Okay, let's delete some of these comments. Okay. The strange people in the chat here. Let's see. Scott probably saw an opportunity. That's all it was to him. Now he's turning them in. Yeah, it could be. Harvey could hire Dan for a tax fraud case. Yeah, that's Dan's specialty, is really white-collar crimes. Yep.
Yeah.
Remember, she immediately went to the back to call Charlie when the FBI showed up. Erica is in Donna's notes. Yeah, we saw that in Donna's notebook, where she said she was meeting with Erica or something having to do with that. I mean, that's just so sleazy. There's a trial coming up and she's deliberately trying to influence this witness. Yeah. I hope they could figure out by calculating missing income. Do you think? Yeah, I asked Yindra that, and Yindra said that Sigfredo will never talk. Maybe it's some sort of, code amongst people in prison that they don't want to look like snitches. Yeah. Well, I mean, what an idiot, though. His appellate attorney was practically pleading with him to tell the truth and turn on the Adelsons, because that's his only hope of ever getting any reduction in his prison time. But Sigfredo still won't talk or say anything. It's so weird. Yeah, he'll never get out. He's a violent. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Okay, Scott did the right thing. Okay, let's get rid of these people that are spamming the chat. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's Adelson trolls. It's sometimes just weird people that pop into live streams and say all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah.
I'm getting tired of seeing people picking on Jeff Lacasse. I mean, if I have a message for you all, knock it off. This guy's a hero. He's brave. He's been through a traumatic experience. It makes me so angry that people then want to make him have to kick himself and live with guilt, like, oh, if I would have notified the police, it would have saved his life. Like he hasn't been through enough already. They should be trying to put a guilt trip on him, and he's the hero in this case. Well, one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he had so much good information to help the authorities and fill in the puzzle pieces regarding Wendy, especially. So, yeah, I'm definitely Team Jeff Lacasse all the way. And if you guys haven't seen the Society Pages YouTube channel, he has this really awesome, funny video called Thank You, Jeff. And, you know, it's so funny. Yeah, I don't know where he got some footage where there's like this man like on his stomach writing in a diary, you know, thanking Jeff, and guys like dancing around and stuff. Yeah.
We love Jeff.
Right. Yeah. What do you think of Jeff?
He's an all-star. I mean, he said that he took notes of his own accounts of things to make sure that like it wouldn't be spoiled over time and that his memory would serve him. So he wrote it all down in journals. I mean, my God, he's so like conscientious about his opinion.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's an all-star, really. I can't imagine a better witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since he's a professor, you know, he has that good speaking ability where he's like thinking about all the details and making sure he's speaking accurately and correcting things. Yeah. So yeah, I think he does great on the stand, and he comes across as totally credible to me. So I hope he's doing okay, you know, because this has definitely been a big stressor on him for so many years.
I think he's up for the task, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sigfredo is just sticking it to the wall by not cooperating. Not sure if it's a snitch code. Yeah, I mean, it could be, because supposedly if you're known as a snitch in prison, then people will, you know, beat you up or something. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it's because most of the anti-Jeff people have been banned by the Markel YouTube channels by now. So, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I don't fault him at all for not running to the police, you know, just because Wendy blurted something during one of her like emotional outbursts. Yeah.
One of many.
Yeah, he's a star witness, well-spoken, would likely love to get on with the rest of its life.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Okay, great. Okay, any parting words? Since I'm so sorry I kept you guys for so long. Gosh.
Oh, this was fun.
Justice for Dan.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. Yeah, thank you. And so next Saturday, Bruce and Dawn and I are going to be doing another trivia contest. And, you know, I mean, I think people enjoy it. You know, it's not to make light of the murder or something. In fact, I was thinking of making a donation to Justice for Dan. So for every point that the winner gets, I would multiply that by whatever, like $5, and donate the money to Justice for Dan. So, and hopefully we'll also have a prize for the winner too, because I've been ordering some stuff. So yeah, so hopefully you guys will come back on Saturday night at, I think, 7:30. Yeah. So, and if you guys want to help be on the screen and help read questions and make witty banter too, that would be great too.
But you do have a prize because you have more owl earrings.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because Patty's going to give back the owl earrings that I mailed to her, because I didn't realize she didn't have pierced earrings.
They were pierced at one time, but they grew back in. So I would have to re-pierce them. But now I remember why I let them grow back in. The metal always bothers my ears, no matter whether it's gold or silver or anything. So
yeah,
don't wear them.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope, have you had time to read Ruth Markel's book?
Yes. It was brilliant and traumatizing. It was devastating. That's the word I'm looking for. It was devastating, but it was it's a wealth of information for people who are book to this case. In fact, you
Yeah.
have more books you could give as a prize too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have any more books, but if Ruth has
Well-
them for sale directly at
Yeah, you know-
Tallahassee, I'll be glad to buy up some more copies too.
I ordered 2 copies. You're going to get them on the 24th.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
because
thank you.
On
You don't have
Amazon,
to.
it was $52, but the price dropped. I don't know why. It's $22 now, so I ordered up 2 for you. Because you were so kind to me. You were so generous. Judy sent me her own book because at the time I didn't have one. I really wanted to read it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It made me tear up so many times. Like at the beginning, where Ruth was talking about how her son never was involved in any vices or he didn't have any enemies. And, he lived a good, clean, straight and narrow type of life.
Yeah.
And also the part when she talked about how she gave Dan's toddler blankets to Wendy to give to the boys, and the boys, one of the sons just grabbed the blanket and seemed like to be, really happy that he was like cuddling with his dad's blanket. But then later she went back and the blankets had disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cruel. Like, what happened to the blankets? Did Wendy or Donna just toss the blankets
Probably.
in the trash?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Like all this stuff behind the scenes where Dan's poor parents and sister have had to suffer so many indignities because of Wendy and Donna, the way they were treated and had their emotions played around with, and how Wendy kept playing games with them about getting to see the boys after the memorial service. That made me really mad. So
Yeah.
yeah, like lying to her, like, oh, now's not a good time. Oh, we're
I
busy.
know.
You can't see the boys. Oh,
That's
maybe tomorrow.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just very disturbing, and everybody who cares about this case should definitely try to get a copy of Ruth Markel's book.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, Sandra was the winner of the first.
Oh, that's
little
right.
trivia
Yeah,
contest.
Sandra, she knows her stuff. She knows her
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, so she got some owl earrings. I hope they arrived okay. And I think Lady Simpleton won Dawn's first trivia contest, and yesterday's winner was T. Cancela. So we have
really?
many.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have many all-star experts on the Dan Markel case here.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mel. I'm glad. Yeah. So we'll do something on Saturday night. Yeah. Sandra is the Usain Bolt of trivia. Yeah. I was really impressed because she even knew the food that Yindra ate at the beach with Wendy and Katie's, that beach trip over Father's Day. Remy, do you happen to remember, like, what food did Yindra have at Charlie Adelson's expense?
I don't.
Okay, it was like chicken sandwiches and red margaritas. Oh, okay. Only platinum for Patty. Okay, thank you. Oh, what is Patty's channel?
PattyN 1032.
Yes. So if you search for that, PattyN 1032,
Yeah.
you should be able to find her channel and also support. Oh, and Remy, you have a channel now too, don't you?
Yeah, it's just barely there for if I'm doing any sort of like drawings or anything like that. So yeah, much more active on Instagram. So actually, yeah, I just reached 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm doing a
Really? Wow.
doing one
Congratulations.
giveaway, but it's kind of a weird one. So I don't think many people. Well, actually, I think there's already like 30 or 40 people participating. So the winner will get to tell me their worst nightmare situation, and I will work with them to create a short story personalized for them where they live out their worst nightmare. So
Wow.
Wow.
What
So
interesting
what
thing.
is your Instagram handle?
it's Remy Oliver Horror.
Is it all one word?
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that in. So if you guys are on Instagram. Oh, and also I love Mia Wallace. So you guys have, if you're on Instagram, definitely look up. I think it's like M Wallace.
Yeah,
Something
M
like
Wallace
137.
137, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, she's the one that made that funny picture of Donna holding the spoon, like the picture.
Oh, right. I saw that.
So funny.
Yeah.
I love it. And also she made that really funny picture mocking them, saying the never-ending Adelson bullshit story.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's
yeah. I love that.
that creature.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So both of, yeah, be sure to check it out. Thank you so much. Okay, 8 days for actual trial, 2 days jury selection. Oh, I think jury selection will probably take at least 3 days because that's how long Charlie's took.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, deliberations. Yeah, 2 hours. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be less than 3
Yeah.
hours again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time, and we'll definitely be in touch. And Patty, I'll see you soon.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
I'll
having
see you
us.
soon.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Justice for Dan Markel.
Yes. that's right.
Get your taco stuff, even if you just get Old El Paso instant taco mix. We got to have some on hand.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys next time. Thank you for caring.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.